Our next guest is a Golden Globe nominated actor. You know best from his work on shows such as Narcos and Dope Thief, and films like Civil War and The Gray Man. He's currently starring in The Secret Agent, which is in theaters now. Let's take a look.
Eu não sou uma pessoa violenta. Mas esse cara eu matava ele com um martelo. Eu bagaçava a cabeça dele todinho com o martelo.
Tu anda armado?
Não, mas eu sei usar um martelo.
Please welcome to the show, Wagner Moura, everybody. Welcome. I'm so happy to have you here, Wagner. I've been a fan for a long time.
Brother, thanks for having me. I'm a big fan.
You also you made a real effort to get here. You took a red eye from LA. You were at the
did.
Critics' Choice Awards last night.
Yes.
And Secret Agent won Best Foreign Film. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
You were also nominated as an actor. Didn't win.
No, I didn't. No.
So I just don't want you to get too high on.
Twice. I was nominated for two different categories, and I.
Well, were you nominated for Secret Agent and Dope Thief?
And Dope Thief, and I lost both.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So you won one,
Yeah,
lost two.
exactly. That's not bad.
Well, it's not bad at all, because guess what? I was nominated, just lost the one. So I would give anything for your life, brother. I will say, you know, one of the delightful things, this was one of those movies I heard a great deal about. And then when I'm watching it, I'm like, wait, I know this guy. And, you know, one of the things is, I guess the first time American audiences probably got to see you the most was in Narcos.
Oh, yeah.
And you look better than this guy.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah.
I think I like to think that I'm looking better now.
Yeah.
I was 40 pounds heavier back then.
Yeah. Well, and for the part, it was for the role.
It was for the role.
Yes.
I was eating delicious things. You know, I was eating whatever I wanted, but it was absolutely for the role.
The one thing your takeaway was like Pablo Escobar had a really nice diet.
Exactly.
And then Civil War, which is a movie I absolutely
That
loved
I'm
last year.
looking better.
Yeah, you look really good in that one too. So you're in the right trajectory. You just keep getting handsomer, and that doesn't happen to a lot of people in Hollywood. So
No,
congratulations.
but I really, those are two things that are. I mean, I really love Narcos. I think they're both Narcos and Civil War are both very political.
Yes, of course.
Things that I feel very particularly attached to. I think that Narcos was a series about the drug trade in South America, which is a thing that affects my country, Brazil. And Civil War was a film that I was very shocked when I read that script, how timely that was.
Yes.
How scary.
Well,
that
anytime
could
a
be.
movie is timely in that way, when you know how they have to start, you know, you work on these movies, they don't start a week before they come out, you know, so you have to like years, you know, in the past sort of like time it to just be perfectly of the moment when it came out, and that was a film. And certainly, strangely, Secret Agent feels the same way, right? Like this is a movie that takes place in the late 70s in Brazil, and yet it does really resonate as a modern film as well. Certainly that must have been something you knew as you were making
it's
it.
interesting because The Secret Agent was a film that, of course, Brazil was under a very heavy dictatorship from 64 to 85, so the film is set up and the film takes place in 77. But the urge to make this film was what was going on in Brazil from 2018 to 2022 when Brazil was under, I never know how to put it, like, we had a fascist president. Yeah.
I think that's okay. We might actually say that
You
every
kind
now
of
and
know
then.
what I'm talking about, and whoever was vocal against him suffered lots of consequences. So the director Kleber Mendonça and myself, we got together, and this is a result of our shared perplexity of what was going on in Brazil in the 21st century when this guy was bringing back the values of the dictatorship.
It's also, I will say, you know, I think it's really important to stress for anybody who hasn't seen it, it's also like a very fun movie. It's very funny at times.
Yeah, yeah.
It makes you want to visit
There's
Brazil.
weird things. Yeah,
You know
have
what I
you
mean?
been to Brazil? by
I've
the
never
way?
been to Brazil, and even watching it under a dictatorship, I'm like, that looks so much more fun than
Yeah, it's
anything
fun.
I'm doing.
Yeah. It's funny.
Yeah.
Even and it's interesting because I was at Narcos again when I was in Colombia doing Narcos. I was asking my friends that because Bogota back in the '80s was probably the most dangerous city in the world, and I was asking my friends, what was it to live in Colombia back then? It was like, dude, we were going out, going to bars and having fun. We were living our lives.
Yeah.
So that's it. Yeah, Brazil was fun back in the '70s.
But
too.
you were, I mean, obviously, you were a very young person in Brazil during this dictatorship, and so did it unearth memories for you that maybe-
Absolutely. So, but you know what happens because the dictatorship ended in '85, but it didn't really end in '85. The echoes of the dictatorship are still there.
Yeah.
You know, somehow Brazil is a very complex country. It's like everything that you see about Brazil, the diversity, the culture, and it's probably is the country that has the most modern constitution in the world. But it's also a country that is the last country in the Western world to abolish slavery, for example. You know, like colonialism and imperialism and violence and coup d'etats and things like the dictatorship that they had are still present in the daily life of the country. So I have memories, of course. I have memories like that shirt that I'm wearing in the film is kind of how my father used to wear his shirt, like with the buttons up.
Yeah.
Like showing his chest.
Yeah, my children have requested their father never do that.
Never do that. Yeah. It's becoming trendy again. You'll be surprised.
I think for you
So
it's
I
trendy, yeah.
I remember that kind of thing, but also that the feeling of being in a country that with full of contradictions is still very alive in Brazil.
Also, Golden Globe nominated. Congratulations. It's very exciting. So you're going right back out. Our friend Nikki Glazer's hosting. She's the best in the business. But it also must be really special to make this really personal film about where you're from and to have this reception in America, not just critically, but, you know, I would assume like award nominations, look, they're important for everybody. They mean a lot to everybody. But it must just be such a cool thing that people are rewarding a movie like this.
Yes, it's very important for us. I think it's important for Brazilians, Seth, because back in that time, from 18 to 22, when Brazil was under that fascist moment, you know, in a fascist manual, the first thing that they do is attack. What they attack is universities, journalists, and artists, and they were very effective in transforming, in trying to transform artists in Brazil into the enemies of the people with that kind of, you know, populist conversation. So to see Brazilians, since last year when a film called I'm Still Here, which is
another
a
fantastic
beautiful
film,
film, a Brazilian film, won an Oscar, to see Brazilians rooting for that film and seeing those artists as like, these people represent us as I think it's just beautiful, and I'm just happy for Brazilians and for our culture.
You were the first Brazilian to win Best Actor at the Cannes Film Festival. Congratulations on that. But you were not an incredible
I was not
commentator.
there.
You were not there.
I was not
I was
there.
heartbroken to hear you were not there.
That was a crazy story because I was shooting a film in England, London, very close. I could like just
Yeah,
take
you could have made it.
I could have made it, but and that was on a Saturday. Saturday was my day off, so
Yeah.
I was like completely free. I could have gone to Cannes, but they asked me to shoot not with the main unit, not with the second unit, but with the third unit, with basically people that didn't even know what kind of film we were doing. Like,
Gotcha.
like
These are
they-
just basically a unit that's going to shoot things that you need for the film.
Like a close-up of your hand,
Yeah.
things like that. And I couldn't tell them, hey, I think I have to go to Cannes because I think that I might win an award there, you know. So I was too embarrassed to say that. So I was like, yeah, sure, let's do it. So I was doing a scene where I was basically, so my friend called me and he was like, I think he was shooting the ceremony, and Kleber Mendonça, the director, was on stage and he was like, he's on stage and was like, we won something. He was like, no, you won. He's there to pick up your award. And I was like, oh my God, I won Best Actor in Cannes. And they called me and he was like, Wagner, could you come in? I was, yes. So I didn't know anyone. I couldn't share it with anyone. I couldn't, hey guys, I just won Best Actor in Cannes. And the scene that I did was, this is the scene that I was doing. I put like a plastic bag on my hand and I was picking up the of a dog. So I was picking up the dog on a hand and thinking, I just won Best Actor in Cannes. And I couldn't share that with anyone because I
By
didn't
the
know
way,
anyone.
if you had, they would have been like, no, you didn't.
No, you didn't. Just pick up
If you won Best Actor at Cannes, would you be with us picking up?
that. Exactly.
I don't think so, buddy.
I don't think so. Yeah.
But it's true, and it's well deserved, and it's been so wonderful talking to you. Congrats
So
on the
nice to
film.
talk
Best
to you.
of luck.
Thank you very much.
Find more everybody, The Secret Agents in theaters now. We'll be right back.